These are loving relationships.
Yeah.
Sex is part of it, but that's not a focus.
But was it a physical relationship where you both were just attracted to each other?
Now is
Welcome to Glogossips USA, the home of unfiltered drama, deep family secrets, and emotional truths that hit harder than ever. Tonight, we peel back the final layers of the Brown family's carefully constructed world. What you're about to hear isn't just a recap, it's a revelation. Kody Brown has shattered all expectations in the fourth and final installment of the Sister Wives Tell-All. And trust us, this isn't just the end of an era. It's the birth of a brand new storm. Everything changed the moment Kody walked on stage. The tension in the room could be sliced with a knife. Fans expected answers, perhaps regrets, but no one anticipated a bombshell that would blow open the Sister Wives universe. In a calm yet calculated voice, Kody confirmed the whispers that had haunted Reddit threads and YouTube breakdowns for months. He had taken on a new wife. Her identity remains hidden, cloaked in secrecy, but insiders claim she's younger, assertive, and entirely absent from the show's footage at least for now. The timing of this reveal couldn't be more explosive. With his relationships in shambles, Kody's announcement wasn't just scandalous, it was salt in a family's open wounds. The revelation sent shockwaves through the fan base. A bet was only the beginning. Just as the dust began to settle, the camera cut to an even more seismic truth. In freshly unearthed court documents leaked and dissected live on the tell-all, Robyn Brown was revealed to have walked away from the family with an astonishing $1 million in combined assets. That's not a typo, $2.1 million. The breakdown: real estate shares, business investments, and liquid cash, some of which were originally tied to joint family endeavors under the plural marriage structure. Fans were furious. Robyn cries broke, but walks away a millionaire. One viral TikTok commented. Others were more brutal. She weaponized loyalty and walked out richer than anyone else. As the camera zoomed in on Robyn's expression, there was no trace of tears this time, just the tight-lipped resolve of someone who had already moved on. In fact, whispers backstage say Robyn and Kody have been living increasingly separate lives for months. One insider even hinted that the financial split had been underway long before the tell-all, suggesting that this was less a surprise and more a calculated escape plan. But the most satisfying twist, that came from two women who had spent years in emotional exile: Meri and Janelle Brown. Viewers have watched Meri struggle through humiliation and isolation. Janelle's pain was quieter, steadier, but just as deep. But now both women are rewriting their own narratives. After years of being treated like background characters in their own story, they stepped into the spotlight with victory in hand. The tell-all revealed that both Meri and Janelle had secured ownership stakes in multiple properties parcels that had once been dismissed, disputed, or unfairly divided by Kody. Behind the scenes, these women had quietly built their legal defense. With the help of attorneys and financial strategists, they turned their pain into power. This wasn't just about land. This was about reclaiming dignity. In one emotional confessional, Meri looked directly into the camera and said, "Sometimes, losing everything is how you finally find freedom." Her voice didn't shake. It rang like a warning. Janelle, visibly emotional but grounded, added, "We built this family, okay? And now we're taking back what's ours." Social media erupted. TikTok lit up with breakdowns, memes, and emotional reactions. One post read, "Robyn gets $2 million. Meri and Janelle get our hearts." Another went even further. Kody traded loyalty for legacy, and now he's left with neither. This wasn't just another tell-all episode, it was a reckoning. YouTube reaction channels, Twitter threads, and Reddit forums exploded with new speculation. Was Kody's mystery wife his final attempt at legacy building? Or just another chapter of his unraveling ego? As the camera panned to Kody for a reaction, he didn't defend Robyn. He didn't argue with Meri or Janelle. He sat still, blinking, like a man realizing too late that the empire he tried to build had crumbled in his hands. And just when viewers thought the drama had peaked, the producers dropped one final cliffhanger. A public appearance from Kody's new wife is imminent. No one knows when or how, but the show isn't done with this story yet. If anything, it's just getting started. Season 19 is now the longest-running, most emotionally charged season in Sister Wives history. And it ends not with a whimper, but with a wildfire. In the final one-on-one sit-down with host Sukanya Krishnan, the remaining family members were asked a single question that sliced through years of pain like a knife. Would you live the plural life again? Janelle didn't hesitate. I'm not sure I would have married him at all, she said, her voice calm but final. Christine, always the bold one, added, all he did was lie. Her words dropped like stones. Meri followed quietly. I'm not going to live polygamy again. Then came Robyn, her answer, chilling in its devotion. I always choose Kody. No hesitation, no regret. Just blind, aching loyalty. The internet didn't take kindly to that line. Twitter users branded it delusional. Facebook fans called it a mask. And one viral comment nailed the sentiment. She says she chooses him, like she even has a choice. He bankrolls her and her kids. That's not love, that's survival. But the most shocking known answer came from Kody himself. When asked the same question, he looked down, thoughtful, silent. The pause stretched. Then finally, he spoke not about the life, not about regrets, not even about his children. He simply muttered, polygamy doesn't work if you fall in love. The host pressed him, and did you fall in love? He looked up. I fell. In love hard. Fans were outraged. One Facebook viewer summarized it best. The right answer was, yes, because I love my kids. And without polygamy, I wouldn't have them. That's how a father speaks when his children have disowned him, another commenter added. He deflects every time. Love should be multiplied, not divided. But he divided everything: his time, his money, his heart. Now he has nothing. And as the credits rolled, one more bomb dropped. Meri and Janelle, now proudly single, didn't hold back. In a moment of wild honesty, they spilled the tea on their sex lives, or lack thereof. In a clip from the US Weekly sneak peek, Meri joked about her best friend Jen buying her boxes of protection, while Janelle openly declared, I'm a very sexual being. Both women confirmed they weren't dating yet, but they were open, excited, and for the first time. Free Christine, now happily married to David Woolley, was nowhere near this chaos. She had moved on emotionally, legally, spiritually. But the others were still tangled in the wreckage of a family that was never really built to last. Kody Brown once had 4 wives, 18 children, and a dream to rewrite the rules of love. He's clinging to the memory of control, grasping for loyalty in the ruins he created. And yet, the story isn't over, because somewhere off-screen, his new wife waits. And whether she's his redemption or just another detour, one thing's for sure: when she steps into the spotlight, the world will be watching.
I have 100% loyalty from Robyn. So, okay, yeah, I guess that's like Robyn. Nope, I'm just asking for loyalty. I'm asking to be the head of my house.
What started as a spiritual union ended in legal divides, public heartbreak, and exposed secrets too heavy for the Brown family to continue hiding. And while Kody might still be holding on to his fantasy of a family governed by patriarchal unity, the women who once stood by his side are not only done there rewriting their futures unapologetically. In a scene that had even the camera crew leaning forward, Meri sat on the tell-all couch, composed but sharp. She laughed lightly as she recalled her best friend, Jen Sullivan, trying to push her into dating again. Like, I don't need you to buy anything for me. Nothing's happening. Nothing needs to happen, Meri quipped, her sarcasm masking years of emotional drought. Host Sukanya Krishnan gently pushed, but maybe something should happen. Meri paused. Okay, when it's appropriate. What the cameras didn't show, but social media had already pieced together, was Meri's brief romance with Amos Andrews. She had debuted the relationship with optimism in October 2023, only to reveal a quiet breakup a few months later. We had some hard truths. It's tough conversations, she later told fans. But I'm still me. I'm confident. I'm not broken. It was the kind of statement that made longtime viewers tear up. Meri, once so lost in the margins of the Brown family's emotional structure, finally finding her way not through a man, but through herself. Still, the silence about her love life was louder than any confession. Janelle, on the other hand, was ready to talk. She looked straight into the camera with a half smile and said what no one expected. I miss physical affection. It wasn't desperate tit, was raw honesty. The room shifted. She wasn't ashamed. She wasn't embarrassed. She was just human. The hormones are hell when you're single, she added with a laugh. But you deal with it. Or whatever. Her voice cracked slightly, not from weakness, but from a place of knowing exactly what she had sacrificed for decades. And now she wanted more. Someday, she said, someone would come along. Someone who saw her, desired her, cared, but she also dropped a bomb of her own. I'm a Taurus, she declared. I'm Earth Mama. Everything earthy, food, wine, sex, all of it. That's who I am. The confession hit hard because it defied the image fans had held for years. Janelle, the stoic one, the one who tolerated Kody, not loved him. But behind the scenes, there had always been passion. She just kept it private until now. Of course, we were compatible, Janelle said when asked about her and Kody's intimacy. I don't blab about that stuff, but let's just say it was good. She leaned back, unbothered, knowing full well that her silence over the years had let people create their own assumptions. She was done staying quiet. And then there was Christine. She didn't hold back, not this time. In part 2 of the tell-all, Christine laid bare the truth that fans had long suspected, but never heard out loud. There was no intimacy left, she said. Not emotionally, not romantically, not physically. The audience was stunned. Christine described how things had started out with fun, excitement, and passion. But once Robyn entered the picture, that changed. After he married her, it was like he was gone, Christine said. Emotionally, he vanished, and that void was never filled again. She remembered asking Kody directly if their marriage had a future. Will we ever be intimate again? She had asked. And his answer, cold and calculated, was no. That single word destroyed the illusion. It ended everything. That's when Christine knew it was over. It wasn't just about sex. It was about respect. It was about being seen. He didn't support me emotionally, or physically, or financially. She said, I felt used. I didn't feel loved. Felt like an obligation. The words came slow, deliberate, every syllable laced with pain. Christine wasn't just telling her story. She was setting herself free. And she did. In October 2023, she married David Woolley, a man who adored her, honored her, and gave her the kind of love she had begged for in silence for over 2 decades. While the rest of the Brown family scrambled to survive, Christine had left the battlefield. She wasn't wounded, she was healed. But back in the eye of the storm, Kody's narrative was unraveling fast. In a clip from an earlier episode, Kody tried to justify why his marriage with Robyn was different. My previous marriages, arguments, F&F, he said, using a code to describe the cycle of fighting and intimacy. That's not real connection. That's just orgasms. The statement was met with immediate backlash. Fans were furious. They accused him of reducing decades-long relationships to sex and conflict, ignoring the sacrifices his wives made, the children they raised, the pain they endured. Christine's voice echoed louder after that. It wasn't even intimacy. It was obligation. Kody's dismissal of her pain was what fans couldn't forgive. And then came the quiet earthquake Coyote Pass. Once a dream project and a promised land, Coyote Pass had now become the symbol of everything broken in the Brown Empire. And finally, Meri and Janelle had decided to speak the truth. Meri recounted how asking questions about the land had backfired. "I got in trouble," she said, shaking her head. "Just for asking why the land was being split that way? After that, I stopped pushing, but the doubts were always there. What was meant to be a shared future had turned into a tangled mess of secrets, hidden deeds, and silent betrayals." Meri suspected Kody's name was on all the key sections strategically placed so he remained the ultimate owner. Janelle confirmed. She'd fought those battles too. It was always about him and Robyn, Janelle said. "The rest of us were just filler." For years, Janelle clashed with Kody over financial clarity. He made promises, then broke them. He dangled hope, then retracted it. Now, she saw through it, and for the first time, she said it out loud. Kody, of course, had his own version of the story. In his one-on-one, he claimed that Robyn hadn't even benefited from the early money. Her checks went to help the other wives buy their homes, he said. She sacrificed, but fans weren't buying it, not when she just walked away with $2, $1 million, and the others had to claw their way toward justice. Meri and Janelle's truth rang louder. This wasn't just about land. This was about being erased, controlled, muzzled. And they were done being quiet. Now, with the tell-all bringing secrets to the surface like never before, the power dynamics had shifted completely. Kody wasn't the center anymore. It was the collapse. Robyn wasn't the sympathetic survivor. She was the sole legal wife walking away with millions. Christine was in love. Meri was finding herself again. Janelle was honest and open about her desires. The empire Kody built wasn't crumbling. It had already crumbled. And he didn't even notice. But the biggest mystery of all, the new wife. Producers teased her. Whispers surrounded her. Fans stalked. Forums trying to connect dots. One thing was certain, she was real. And soon she'd step into the light. Would she heal Kody's image? Or would she be another chapter in the same old script one, where Kody rewrites history, only to be caught again in his own contradictions? The tell-all wasn't just a reunion. It was a resurrection of truth, of power, of the women who finally refused to live in silence. And as millions tuned in, one question burned hotter than the Arizona sun over Coyote Pass. What does Kody Brown have left? Now that all the wives are gone? The fallout from the tell-all wasn't just emotional, it was generational. Kody Brown's decisions had left a trail of broken relationships, fractured trust, and deep emotional scars. And now, the focus wasn't just on failed marriages, it was on failed fatherhood. They've always had each other's backs. Kody once said of his plural family. But now only he and Robyn remained, caring for their youngest children. The rest had drifted, and fans weren't forgiving. Social media exploded with rage. Many pointed to Kody's refusal to support Isabel's surgery as proof that neither he nor Robyn deserved sympathy. Viewers questioned how he could flaunt luxury watches and Robyn's expensive jewelry while some of his children were emotionally and financially abandoned. One fan summed it up. He thinks he's entitled to everything because he's Kody Brown. Then came the forgotten children, truly. Savannah kids who seemed erased from Kody's narrative. David will raise Truly like a real father, one fan posted. Kody already forgot her like he did Savannah. Robyn's controversial entry into the family resurfaced too. When she joined, she brought $32,000 in credit card debt covered by Meri, Janelle, and Christine. But when they moved to Flagstaff, Robyn got a house and the others got rentals. Fans saw that as a visual betrayal, but nothing compared to what came next. In March 2024, Kody and Janelle's son Garrison died by suicide at just 25 years old. The grief was overwhelming. It was a bright spot in our lives. Kody and Janelle said in a joint statement, "Our loss takes our breath away." Janelle became a pillar of strength in her grief. On Garrison's birthday, she posted, "We talked about you today. I still feel you nearby." On her first Mother's Day without him, she baked his favorite pie and called it bittersweet. October, she told reporters, "You just take it one day at a time. We do what we can to honor him." On the anniversary of his passing, she wrote, "I miss you so much. You're always on my mind." In May 2025, Sister Wives aired an episode on the family's grief. Kody admitted his heartbreak. "I thought we had more time," he said. "I didn't get to make things right." Janelle shared what happened that night. They had texted throughout the day. When he went silent around 8 p.m., she asked his brothers to check on him. She awoke to Gabriel's call. Garrison was gone. He had anxiety and depression, she said. He started drinking during the pandemic and couldn't get control back. "We did everything we could." She remembered how Garrison adored his younger siblings, checking on Truly, visiting Robyn's kids daily. He was all about his younger siblings, she said, fighting tears. Kody was haunted by guilt. "Sometimes it hits me like an anxiety attack," he said. "It's a deep, overwhelming feeling that I'll never see him again." So he made a decision to bury Garrison in Wyoming beside his grandparents. Not just a burial, but a pilgrimage. It's a final act of love. "I was the first one to hold him," Kody said. "I rocked him to sleep. This is my son. Digging his grave eats part of my mourning process." So in a quiet cemetery under a wide Wyoming sky, Kody picked up a shovel and dug his son's grave. The man who once held a family of 4 wives and 18 kids now stood alone in the dirt, burying not just his child, but the remnants of his legacy. Meri now navigates life on her own. Christine is happily remarried. Janelle remains strong despite the devastation. Robyn is isolated in her Flagstaff fortress. And Kody, he's left with regret and the echoes of what used to be. This wasn't the Sister Wives finale fans expected. But maybe it's the one they needed, the truth beneath the spotlight. A mirror for every choice left unresolved. A reminder that love, once fractured, leaves more than just distance. It leaves ghosts.